Blessings and welcome to Eartheart Radio, finally beginning to awaken from the illusion of separateness and broadcasting live from the KSKQ studios in beautiful Ashland, Oregon. Here's your host, Derek Moody.
Wow, something sounds incredibly slow about that recording, and normally it sounds a little more upbeat, so I hope there's no technical deals going on. Thanks for being here. Good afternoon, my friends, brothers and sisters, KSKQ supporters, and casual listeners driving down the I-5 headed to your destinations. Thank you for your ears. Today is Eartheart Radio Show number 38, and I'm happy to be here. I consider this show to be a big part of my own spiritual path. I look into the positive news stories during the week. I study saints during the week. It's like my spiritual college. I voluntarily assign myself various homework, and I learn about the saints and high-frequency souls, things like that. And then I put some words on paper, and I research groovy music to make you feel good. And that's where we are at today. Turning outwards can bring a lot of suffering, but focusing on turning inwards, and you can find yourself on the path of some kind of personal balance, perhaps, right? The intention is for the next hour for you, dear Eartheart listener. It's for you to relax. Enjoy yourself as you open your mind and open your heart to a little happiness. My religion is love. Blessings to Amma. And for the next hour, you'll hear lovely music, news stories of the positive kind, and Saint Seraphim of Russia is my spotlight today. However, the show always begins with my main event, and tonight the main course, the headliner of the hour and the focus of today's Eartheart show, he began singing in 1980 in Austin, Texas, when he formed a political punk rock band called the Dicks. Gary Floyd is a punk pioneer. He was also a pioneer in the arena of sexual identity. He was a hero of mine back then, and he still is. He was one of the first human beings to address the issue of homosexuality back in a day when it wasn't safe to do so. His band were controversial and known for Marxist lyrics in the Reagan era. In 2015, a documentary film about Gary and his band was released. It's called The Dicks from Texas. He's joining me on the telephone right now to discuss all kinds of God concepts and more. And let's get the conversation going. Once I plug my little cord in, we'll get Gary on the phone. He's actually on the phone now. Gary Floyd, thanks for being here.
Well, I'm all glad to be here. I wish I was actually there, but just happy to be anywhere. Happy to be anywhere.
Where are you right now, can I ask?
I am sitting in front of my house in San Francisco.
I figured I thought you were still down there.
Yeah, well, you know what? I moved from Austin to San Francisco a long time ago, like 1982. And the Dicks came out here, and then some of them went back, and then I got some new folks, and we refer to that as the SF Dicks. And then Sister Double Happiness, and then Black Kali Ma and Gary Floyd Band. So I always had a lot of family of musicians here, and I also do in Austin. So I'm here.
That's a really good thing that you've been able to do such a wide, diverse selection of music, starting with the early Dick sound all the way up through all the bluesy vocals to the more spiritual stuff. I really dig it, man. You're so diverse.
Well, you know what? I'm really happy about that, too. And some people, believe it or not, some people don't like it. A lot of people that really like the more bluesy stuff that didn't know anything about the Dicks were always surprised to hear that I had been in a punk band. They were all surprised about that. And a lot of the punk fans didn't really dig the fact that I was doing more bluesy stuff or
yeah.
But really I'm the one that decides and is pleased or not pleased by what I do.
Yep.
And people come along with me or they go elsewhere. And, and that's fine.
And then there's another level. Not only did you have the musical confusion with the different fans that aren't willing to adjust, but then you throw in the spiritual aspect and you probably lose even more people.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Hey, when the band first started, very much like now, except now it's even weirder, it was a very politically charged atmosphere. I was in Texas, it was 79, 1980, 81, and there was lots of things going on that people weren't happy about, and I had laid down my spiritual side quite a bit, and I was very lefty political, and I was looking to that for help for the society and changing society. And the Dicks did a million benefits for all different kind of causes, and I'm really glad we did, and I would do it again. But I had completely negated the spiritual side for a few years, and I happened to be on tour, and I was feeling really hungry for the spiritual, and it was confusing to me a little bit too to start bringing the more Buddhist and Hindu-oriented way of thinking in with the left wing. But you know what? As the years have gone by, that's completely makes sense to me.
It does. It goes hand in hand. Correlation is right there.
It really does. And if it's so weird. I was riding through the back roads of India, and there you would come into a village, and there would be all of these big posters with hammer and sickles. And I didn't get too much into finding out exactly what was going on, but there would be a Ganesha and a Hanuman and a hammer and sickle, and
wow.
I sort of been like, I was really weird. I wanted to get one of the posters, but I didn't want to get out and start taking things.
No, it could have been some great cover art for you.
Well, it really would have been. It was really quite amazing. But the whole idea of like sharing what you have and taking what you need from people that are also sharing, whether it's a politically or a spiritually motivated act of giving and taking with a non-attachment, I don't really care I don't care whichever one it is. Right. If you can do it without being attached to it.
Yep. That's the whole thing, the attachment issue, man.
Well, that's a big one, huh? That's a really big one.
Well, the big thing I've been talking about and trying to do it respectfully online is I've got people saying, hey, you believe in God and Krishna, and how can you be for any kind of resistance other than completely peaceful? I said, well, have you read the Bhagavad Gita lately? I mean, the dilemma was the same thing. It's like Arjuna is not going to fight. He doesn't believe in it. He can't take on his relatives. But then Krishna's like, if you don't, then there's going to be no more peace left anywhere. So you either fight unattachedly for love, or you get taken down very consciously by hate,
I think it's a very learning thing when you first get the Gita and you're going, oh, it's all peace and all love and everything. And then you realize it takes place on a battlefield.
Yeah, it's really profound.
But the great knowledge that Krishna is giving in that wonderful scripture is like a life-saving, and it's the strongest raft you can build to go over the sea of shit that we're going over.
Yeah. Can I ask you, like, at what point, or were you always like that, or was there a certain shift? They say that in order to perceive God, you almost have to have a direct experience of God. And I wonder if that ever happened, or was there one big kind of catalyst that made you go, this is kind of the direction I'm going in from now on?
Well, it's very odd that I haven't had a huge light bust through the dark and light up the night physically, but there have been like a lot of times when things, I don't want to get too much into my storytelling personal stuff, but it's just like first of all, I have always had a spiritual side. Even when I was on stage with the Dicks and there'd be a big commie flag and I would have liver throwing it from my panties onto different people. Even then, I knew that the big mother, the great mother, I didn't know what her name was then, was taking care of things. And I always felt that God's love was more connected, like the loving sternness of a mother rather than the masculine discipline of the father. Now, both are necessary.
Yes.
I think, but you know what? A good job done by either one of those can bring you to your life's goal.
Well, you know.
And no, but I have had many experiences where I thought things were ending. Everything was, and things took a big turn for the better. Yeah,
it became a beginning versus an ending, really, right?
That's it. Yeah. So it's a great thing in my life, and it's not saving grace. I mean, I've done a lot of crazy things, but I've always had the trampoline underneath me where I could bounce back and look at things in a little more sensible way than most people expect out of me. You know? Like, well, there's so many people meet me and they think I'm just completely nuts. And then they realize, oh, well, I'm not really. I'm probably more boring.
You're actually you're misunderstood, is what you are.
Well, I would blame part of that on the Butthole Surfers writing a song about me. People have met me and just sort of watch me and think, okay, if those guys wrote a song about me, he must really be nuts. And
I love those guys.
Yeah, so do I. They're incredible. So but I've always had that sort of underneath that if I fall crazy, well, then that's the way it's supposed to be.
Well, let me ask you this. That's a great segue, because off the air, we were talking several times this week about three people in general. We were talking about Ramakrishna, the Holy Mother, which was Ramakrishna's wife, and also and Neem Karoli Baba. How did you find yourself being drawn the very first time to either Ramakrishna or Neem Karoli Baba?
Well, the Ramakrishna thing is when I was on that tour at the time and I was getting really hungry, and I picked up some different little books at a used bookshop. One of the books that's such a stepping stone for many people, Autobiography of a Yogi.
Oh, yeah.
Paramahamsa Yogananda. I mean, it's just such an incredible book.
It is.
And I read that and I loved it a lot. But in the book, they mention M, who was the writer of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna.
Yeah.
And for some reason, and he talked a little bit about Vivekananda and Ramakrishna. So I went, when I got off tour, I came back, and there is a Ramakrishna Center here, the Vedanta Society here in San Francisco. And I went there, and immediately I was completely at home.
Yeah.
And I became friends with the monks, and I was initiated by the Swami, and that was just my home for that was 1988, so it's been quite a while. But, that's where I had many of the personal experiences with people who were very, very sweet, wonderful, spiritual people. The monks and even some of the nuns that were there were very wonderful. And, I just sunk into that, it was a great teaching, and through them I met some incredibly wonderful and very powerful folks, and it's done me nothing but good.
That's so beautiful.
So over the years, I have also had a very open heart to different paths, and all at once in the last, I don't know, well, for years actually, but in the last 5 or 6 years, I've started really paying attention to the I don't know what to call it, influences that have come to me from Maharaji, Neem Karoli Baba. And so I have really started giving that a lot of attention, and the more I do, the more I realize there's not really that much difference between he and the Vedanta, and
yes,
he just has a different way of looking at it, and but it's nothing contrary.
Well,
and yeah,
Baba Bhagavan Das one time was having lunch with me, and he said to me, isn't it interesting how when you read any book about Ramakrishna, within about just a paragraph or two, you're so completely in that real God space so fast, unlike other books perhaps. And I said, you know what, that's true. When I read Ramakrishna, it is one of the most profound experiences almost immediately.
It's and that's exactly how I felt. A friend of mine went to the temple and brought me back a little book, just sayings, and Ramakrishna, and I immediately took to it, and that's when I went to the society, and I would drive the nuns crazy because I would be in that bookstore all day reading. Nice. And then I would ask them a million questions, but they were very patient and very sweet. And I was also very happy when one of the first books I got before I even got the gospel was Ramakrishna and his disciples.
Oh, I love that book. That's a great one.
It was by Christopher Isherwood. And him being a very openly gay man who was very, very, very instrumental in getting the message out of the Vedanta, that also was very helpful to me. And because what? A lot of places as an openly gay man that you show up to take the religion, you're not going to be welcome.
Wow.
And I always felt nothing but welcome there. I mean, I wasn't actually sashaying down the aisle.
But you weren't kicked out either, yeah.
But I wasn't putting on a football suit either.
Can I ask you, what was I going to ask you about, I know there's something you've been working on for it's about a 10-year in the making project with Doug Hilsinger called Relative
That's right.
Relative
Doug
Spirit.
Doug Hilsinger was in dear old field. We're old friends from many, many years, in the 90s. And I wanted to record this one song. It was a song celebrating the Divine Mother. And so he said, yeah, let's do it. So we did that. And then we did another one. And that started this long period of us getting together now and then and recording these songs. And it was finally finished. And it is called Relative Spirit. If you go to Bandcamp, you can search out Gary Floyd, Doug Hilsinger, and it's there.
Relative Spirit is the name, and it would definitely be worth a checking out, my friends. It's actually free to listen to on Bandcamp, and I think it's like $10 to purchase it or something. But yeah, man, it's called
you
Relative
can buy
Spirit.
It, but if you don't have the money, you can you can just you can listen.
Yeah.
And this will also give the people a different side of me, because it's the first time I've really made anything that blatantly spiritual that I put out. A lot of times it's there, but
what about
I'm very proud of it.
What about your book? Do you have an autobiography book out or coming out?
I have one out. You can get it through Amazon. It's
really?
It's called Be Nice, B-E-E, Nice, My Life Up Till Now.
Well, I did not even know that. I feel so naive. I thought I knew a lot more about you. Now I know. I'm going to have to get that book, Gary. I'm really weird. I never heard of that. That's weird.
Well, there's a second one, too. I'm doing a series of lyrics of all the bands I've been in.
Okay.
And the first one is called I Said That. And it's all the lyrics from all the Dick songs. Nice. And it has pictures and pictures of posters and little quips written by other people. And the pictures are pretty interesting through the years. From Mohawk head punk to, bearded bear.
I've got, there's also a tribute CD out there that if no one knows, there's a Dick's tribute CD with 27 bands covering 28 of your songs. There's a documentary film also from 2015 called The Dicks from Texas. Boy,
a friend of mine, Cindy Marabito, made that, and I've known her for like 30 years. And, actually 40 years. And, she's been a filmmaker, and finally she started putting all these things together, and it has a very punk ethic to it. And she's toured with it a few times. And, and then she did all of this. I didn't do anything. She organized all these really good bands around Austin and other places. And they did a tribute album. So that I highly recommend. She's on, you can get through to her on Facebook, and it's, you can get through to, it's the Dicks from Texas. And, and she'll write you back. She's dear old friend.
Can I ask you this? As far as your spiritual path, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but
no.
As far as your spiritual path and your personal way of living, do you have any daily rituals like meditation that you do certain times of day, or yoga, or anything at all that you personally do as far as your daily routine?
Well, every day I try to give some time to sit and think about a compassionate heart and how I have been treated so compassionately by the powers that I worship, by the Divine Mother Kali and Durga and Ramakrishna and Maharaji and all of these combined things, because really they're just one. And I try to think how beautifully I have been treated now. There's been bad times, but those times are really blessed because they teach you about the good times and they make you stronger. And how I can take what I have learned and those blessings that I have received and try to act accordingly to others. And it's not like I'm a saint wrapped up in a turban giving lessons to people. But I'll tell you,
Baba Ramdas said that for those of us who are quiet long enough, everybody is the guru.
Well, it's I had a wonderful Swami that I loved so much. He passed away, but I still know he's around me, who told the story of someone watching like a vulture swoop down and pick up some meat that had been killed on the side of the road, and how he was flying through the air, and all these other birds would fly up to the vulture's mouth and try in the air and try to take this meat from the vulture, and he was one-sided, and he never let it go. And the Swami broke down crying and said, this is the strength I want to hold on to the love of God. And he went, even the vulture can be a teacher.
Yep. Wow, that's well said, man.
Yeah, I mean, those are the kind of people that I have been so lucky to be in the presence of. And but I also do try to, if I don't sit and be quiet every day, I mean, I do try to do that every day a little bit, but I also like to offer a little incense and a moment of quiet to to whoever's there listening.
Beautiful.
To Big Mama.
I hear you, brother. You know, I'm running out of time, Gary. I wanted to let you know, I wanted to follow up this chat with a couple of your songs today. The first one I'm going to play is one of my very favorite songs ever, and hopefully it won't take you by surprise, but it's from Sister Double Happiness, and the first song is going to be the Sweet Talker acoustic version.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
So beautiful, man. And then I was going to also play, where's my list? I found another song by you that was really great last night doing my research, and it's called Backdoor Preacher Man album. And there's a song from that album that I want to play as well. And actually, it looks like I didn't write down the title of that one. But yeah, I've got
There's a bunch of them on there.
Yeah, it's a great record. So I'm going to play something from that as well today. But I really appreciate you making the time to talk to me on the Eartheart show today. I know you've been on my other show.
We're not through with the I will be talking to you about a little package I want to get to you.
Oh, great. I'll definitely catch you on Messenger or something like that. And maybe we can talk again either on Eartheart or the Church of Rock show down the road again.
I'm always ready. It was very pleasant. And should I hang out or just say goodbye and listen online?
Yeah, I think we're going to hang out and then, I'm going to hang up and then play some of your music. And then we'll be doing a spotlight on Saint Seraphim of Russia. And then I'm going to do some positive news stories as well.
I really appreciate you calling, and it was great to talk to you. And I hope everyone has a great day, because things are weird now. We all know that, but there's always like some light gonna come through. And this is a bad time, so a good time's coming, folks.
Amen. Turn up the spiritual heat, man. It's all we can fall back on, really.
I'm going to love people so damn hard.
Kill from the heart, Gary.
Love from the heart.
Love from the heart.
I would do that over. Okay, my friend. Take care and have a great show.
Yeah, you're listening to an interview with Gary Floyd on KSKQ Radio at the Eartheart Radio Show. It's been a real fun chat with Mr. Gary Floyd. Gary, thanks again, and bless you, my friend. Jai Ma.
Same to you, John.
Thank you. Oh, wow. I love that guy, man. And there was a lot of people really looking forward to that interview today. I can tell you that. And so I hope everyone was, I hope everyone enjoyed the interview. I would like to play a song by his band at the time. This is beautiful. Prepare, okay? I'm telling you, it's real beautiful. It's called Sweet Talker. It's the acoustic version with Gary Floyd on the vocals right here at the Eartheart Radio Show and KSKQ Radio.
Shot me on the side.
Thank you for tuning in to High Frequencies on the Eartheart Radio Show on KSKQ.
Yes, indeed, my friends. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you to the following listeners: Brother Doug, Sister Brenda, also Cliff Monk, Peter Goifen, Rick and Kelly, Bob and Red, Don in Omaha, and Brother Steve Westkirchen and Sister Shannon. Thank you for tuning in to the Eartheart Radio Show. I'm Derek Moody. That was a great tune with Sister Double Happiness doing Sweet Talker, featuring the sweet Gary Floyd on the vocals. I'm going to follow that with another song immediately after I tell you that Locals Guide is proud to be an underwriter of KSKQ. Locals Guide is committed to community building through the creation of positive media. They offer a monthly magazine, mobile travel guides, and visitor information kiosks, which offer timely and accurate local information to people just like you all around the world. KSKQ thanks Locals Guide and listeners like you for supporting community radio. My friends, we're going to spotlight a saint. I've got some positive news on the way, but right now let's do one more song in honor of Gary Floyd. This is from the Gary Floyd Band. The album is called Backdoor Preacher Man, and the song is called From the Darkness to the Light on the Eartheart Radio Show and KSKQ. It's for Don.
I am moving toward the mountain. What has passed can't linger on. Watch the sun dance on the fountain. Drink from it and sing along. We are moving from the dark into the light. Rest has come, our battle's done. We won the fight. As I climb, I see the loved ones who had left us long ago. I can feel their hearts beating as I sing in love's warm glow. We are moving from the dark into the light. Rest has come, our battle's done. We've won the fight. Just as dreams seem real when we wake with broken hearts, tears all disappear when the sun tears night apart. Life is such a dream. One dream is another start. We shall gather here forever. Davy Loca is my home. As I pass over the mountain,
Be here now. Eartheart Radio, KSKQ. Saints, angels, avatars, sages, yogis, holy men, medicine men, helpers, elders, revolutionaries, and advocates of love. Today we honor and show love, respect, and gratitude.
Every week I like to pay tribute to a high-frequency soul temporarily inhabiting a human body. Today I picked a Russian saint who seemed quite interesting. Somebody suggested this to me, and I don't remember who, but every week it seems like somebody brings up a great idea, and I run with it. So thank you. All ideas are open, and you can find Eartheart Radio Show on Facebook. I have a page on there. You can always leave your ideas, complaints, or comments. Saint Seraphim was born July 30th, 1754, as Prokhor Moshnin. He is one of the most renowned Russian saints and venerated both in the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church. He is generally considered the greatest of the 19th century elders. Seraphim extended the monastic teachings of contemplation, theoria, and self-denial to the layperson. He taught that the purpose of the Christian life was to acquire the Holy Spirit. Perhaps his most popular quotation amongst Orthodox believers is, quotation, "Acquire a peaceful spirit, and thousands around you will be saved." Seraphim was canonized by the Russian Orthodox Church in 1903. Pope John Paul II also referred to Saint Seraphim as a saint. In 1777, at age 19, he joined the Seraphim monastery as a novice. He took his monastic vows in the year of 1786 and was given the religious name of Seraphim. It means fiery or burning in Hebrew. He was ordained a deacon shortly after. In 1793, he was ordained a hero monk, which is a monastic priest, and he became the spiritual leader of the Divivo convent, which has since come to be known as the Seraphim Divivo convent. Seraphim soon after retreated to a log cabin in the woods outside the Seraphim monastery, and he led a solitary lifestyle as a hermit for 25 years. During this time, his feet became swollen to the point that he had trouble walking. His eating habits became strict. He ate nothing but bread and vegetables for a while, and then for 3 years he ate only grass growing from the ground. He was attacked and beaten by a gang of thieves who beat him mercilessly with the handle of his own axe. He did not resist, and he was left for dead. Seraphim had a hunched back after that and for the rest of his life. However, at the trial for the thieves and the assailants, Seraphim pleaded to the judge for mercy on their behalf. Seraphim spent 5 months in the monastery recovering. After that, he spent thousands of successive nights, 1,000 successive nights on a rock in a continuous prayer with his arms raised to the sky, a feat of asceticism deemed miraculous by the Eastern Orthodox Church, especially considering the pain from his injuries. He soon became popular and seeing pilgrims due to his reputation for his healing powers and gift of prophecy. Hundreds of pilgrims per day visited him, drawn by his ability to answer his guests and questions before they could ask. So he knew what they were going to even ask before they did. He was a kind and gentle man towards others, according to all documents, and Saint Seraphim did leave his physical body on January 14th, 1833, at the age of 73. Beautiful. Saint Seraphim. I hope you learned something each week on the show, because I learn right along with you. It's all real time, my friends. And again, I'm no teacher. I'm just a person that's interested in learning and love and that kind of thing. So I created the show as a way to share and kind of do it in real time. Remember the 1960s performer named Tiny Tim? Well, he was a friend of mine, and he was another sort of saintly guy. And he did an album called Tiny Tim's second album, which was released in 1968. I had some great memories hanging out with this guy, and I can't wait to play this song by the late, great Tiny Tim. It's called It's All Right Now at the Eartheart Radio Show and KSKQ.
Dark is the sound that my memory makes, lonely the image my yesterdays take, down the direction in which I'm going, but when I feel I must fall, I seem to hear a voice call, it's all right now, take it easy, don't you worry, it's all right now. Here is the place that I most like to be, high above life's mundanity, sunshine and laughter, all good things, look how wild the angels sing, must be an angel who's saying,
it's all right now, take it easy, don't you worry, it's all right now.
but I don't know where I'm going, and I'm not going back. Yeah, the mind that brought me this far, it came on a one-way track, and I've had my fill of life. I've had my day of mold. I'm fed up with your crying. I'm better off alone. Dark is the sound that my memory makes, lonely the image my yesterdays take, down's the direction in which I'm going, when I feel I must fall, I always hear a voice call, it's all right now, take it easy, don't you worry, it's all right now.
Broadcasting live from KSKQ Radio in Ashland, Oregon. Thanks for tuning in.
Derek Moody here saying thanks for being a KSKQ supporter. And if you can support us financially, it would be appreciated. We are community run and we get donations from good people like you. And you can surf over to kskq.org and use your debit or credit card. It does go right into our PayPal, and we use it for nothing but keeping the lights on, paying the bills, and keeping your favorite community station running. KSKQ also has a great new sponsor. Businesses who would like to support local community radio can now sign up for locally supported web hosting and email services, and by doing so, directly help support this local community station. Visit sisq.net. or call 541-734-2355 to get more details about locally supported business web hosting, website development, and or website promotion.
Please let go of your fear. Positive news is here.
Things aren't as bad as it seems, no matter what they say. News with an agenda is meant to instill fear. True news can instill hope.
And I hope it makes you feel good to enjoy these positive news stories. Going out for Brother Rick, who says it's his favorite part of the show. Rick listens each week from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Positive news story number one, radio fans and senior citizens take note. While many seniors have been forced to wait out the COVID-19 outbreaks in isolation, these retirees have managed to find connection and comfort through the airwaves. Radio Recliner is an online pirate radio station that is hosted exclusively by elderly DJs from assisted living communities across the United States. The project was launched by marketing firm Lucky back in April as a means of keeping lonely seniors entertained and optimistic during the pandemic. The station has gained more and more listeners and has a team of 18 senior DJs recording segments. In addition to new shows being aired daily at noon, the station now streams a continuous loop of old content to keep its fan base entertained. Quote, "For this generation, radio was the original social media," Lucky Chief Creative Officer Mitch Bennett told the Tennessean newspaper. Quote, "Dedicating a song to someone you love and having them hear it along with everyone else is a special way of connecting. It's a great time to bring that feeling back." Amen. Positive news stories number 2. An injured turkey has a new lease on life. Yep. A 60-pound turkey has been given a second lease on life after his caretakers came up with an innovative solution for putting him on the road to recovery. Bill the turkey is just one of the many residents at the Odd Man Inn Animal Rescue in Washougal, Washington, which is home to a number of goats, pigs, rabbits, and chickens. After Bill was admitted to the nonprofit sanctuary from a feed farm, an infected cut on his right leg left him unable to walk without causing further injury to the foot. Although his caretaker managed to get his foot taken care of by a veterinarian, they quickly realized how difficult it was to flip the turkey over to change his bandages. But rather than give up on their feathered friend's health, the Odd Man rescuers modified a walking wheels canine wheelchair to fit Bill's paunch. The vet said the turkey needs to lose weight to be able to walk again, and the farmers did fit the wheelchair with a sling made out of a maternity girdle, which does support the turkey's weight while he gets his daily exercise. This also allows his caretaker to change his bandages easier. He's slowly regained his ability to walk unassisted. He apparently loves the wheelchair and uses it several times a day. It's not the first wheelchair for animals, but the contraption is being hailed as the very first turkey wheelchair. See, now we're talking turkey. There are wild turkeys here in southern Oregon and Ashland area that I see quite a bit. Pretty cool to see those little guys running around. Positive news number 3. Cannabis may possibly show promise in treating COVID-19. May. Possibly. A recent study from the University of Lethbridge shows that certain strains of cannabis can inhibit viral activity caused by the novel coronavirus. In the study, researchers injected different extracts of sativa into artificial human tissues. The results were promising, and as some strains reduced viral receptor activity by 73%, leading to less likelihood of becoming infected. Pending further investigation, of course, they're saying that if it proves to be a useful and safe addition to COVID treatment, they could make products out of cannabis such as mouthwash, throat gargles for both clinical and at-home use. Lots of progressive studies are happening in Israel also. Medical marijuana is already being used to treat for autoimmune diseases. The stress-relieving properties have a proven invaluable, and they're invaluable during times of quarantine. Now, if I were a gambling man, I'd probably research and invest in medical marijuana stocks. Cannabis investors will likely be rewarded as increasing demand and new opportunities receive widespread coverage, as cannabis will likely be legalized nationwide sooner than later, and thank goodness. God, it's not the Stone Age anymore, guys. It's been proven. In December 2019, a 61-year-old man lay dying from cancer in a hospital. His family was there to visit him, but he was in a lot of pain, and so not able to really hold a conversation. His sister waited to try to raise his spirits, and she really wanted to, and she thought maybe some music might help. This is the first song she played for her brother, and when he heard it, he lifted his head, started tapping his feet, and he whispered, "Tommy James." So his sister's effort to raise her brother's spirit with the power of music was successful that day. And for a short time, he was able to transcend his pain. And every time that beauty Tommy James is mentioned, his little head popped up. So yeah, thank you to Tommy James and the Shondells for the music. Wow, that's a good story. Thank you for being here at the Eartheart Radio Show. I'd like to play a song for you. I've been playing a song each week from the Willie Nelson album entitled Stardust because it's one of the most beautiful albums ever made. The song is called September Song on the Eartheart Radio Show. And KSKQ, it's for Bob and Red.
It's a long, long while from May to December. But the days grow short when you reach September, when the autumn weather turn the leaves to flame. One hasn't got time for the waiting game. Oh, the days dwindle down to a precious few. September, November, and these few precious days I'll spend with you. These precious days I'll spend with you. Oh, the days dwindle down to a precious few. September, November, and these few precious days I'll spend with you. These precious days I'll spend with you. These precious days I'll spend with you.
From the Stardust album, it's the great Willie Nelson, the September Song, wrapping up the Eartheart Radio Show for another Sunday. Thank you to Oddly Toddly, my good friend and supporter of the Eartheart Radio Show. Thanks for listening, Todd. Also, next week on the show, I'll be interviewing New York Times #1 best-selling author and new Ashland, Oregon resident, Joy Clarissa Taylor, about her new book. And, of course, there'll be more Saint talk and more harmonious news. Thank you all for listening tonight. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks again to Gary Floyd for being on the show. And we'll catch you guys next week at the Eartheart Radio Show. Blessings to all. Philosophy Radio is next. Don't go nowhere, please.
You've been listening to Eartheart Radio with your host, Shankara Das. Eartheart Radio is produced by Shankara Das in association with Sister Tracy and Krishna Consciousness. Please tune in every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for more Eartheart Radio.